Okay, guys. So that was.
Guys,
Huh? Was it
I
okay?
was telling the girl to cut the rest for.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, anyway, we have there's many questions here. I'm glad you guys are here. Great. So if you guys are still following, can you just clean up everything? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna set for the next topic. So that was an introduction topic to our program, Design Your Destiny 2.0. And let me answer some of the questions that you have here first. The slides that you see just now, when we're actually doing the final product, it's going to be re-edit, and there might be sections that actually insert inside. Okay, so I know you're watching from this angle right now because this is the live camera. This is the only camera we can live now from. When the final product, of course, the final product will actually include additional clips and better slides, because normally that's called post-production. Okay, in case you don't know how production works, a lot of movie magic happens after the event. Okay, so all right, now let's answer some questions here from Jesse KLS, right? This is so much more zodiac forecast than I thought. Can Parzi be used for identifying what jobs or careers suits me? There you go, suits me. Well, it's something that suits you, or there's something that you can do to excel and thrive in a career. I think I'll be talking not just about suitability. I'm going to talk about how you can thrive, right? So this program will tell you how you can thrive and get into the path of least resistance to the destiny or a career that you want, which is very interesting than just suitable, all right? Listen, suit or no suit, just make it suit, all right? You can tailor fit a lot of things to make it suit you. Kristen is asking, can I find my soulmate from looking at my parts? I think you can become soulmate to other people. That's much easier. You don't just see soulmates, but you can find connection and affinity. Roger is asking, life's been good until recently. Everything seems to be crumbling down all at once. That's what people say when they get into trouble, all right? Well, I want to understand what happened and what can be done to change this. Can Parzi help? Definitely it can help. There will be strategies for increasing income, strategies to understand the problem, whether it's external or internal. Most of the time it's internal, believe me or not. If you just change the way you align your energy, you will be able to see opportunities instead of see dead ends, okay? We'll get to that. We'll get to the point, okay? Alina Inc. is saying, Heng is saying, I'm Elena, this is my first time here. Can Parzi really help you to see the future? I think it can see somewhat the future, but not detailed. You can, however, direct the outcome of that future by designing how much or how less you want something, how intense or how less intense, or the degree of influence or something. Because ultimately, our future is one day we'll die. Okay, but along the way, whether you have a beautiful scenery or a bad scenery, or whether you're going to have someone great talking at the eulogy, right, saying how this Elena has been a great friend to me and influenced the world and impact all the young, or you can say Elena is a bitch and didn't do much in this life, right? So really, how you live your life, your Parzi can tell you what are the potentials, so you can be a happy life. Guest 314. Hey, why are these people doing guests? Lots of them. Can you please use your real name? Okay, I'm a student of Grow Rich with Parzi. Okay, good. Really liked new topics, especially vibrational and horror. When is this going to be ready? This, I'm going to film it, but the software and the charts may not be ready as we're speaking, because that's the mock-up version that you're seeing. But yes, the whole thing will be launched towards the end of quarter 2 or early quarter 3. Okay, I've moved the filming earlier because right now around the world, especially here in Southeast Asia, people are afraid of this coronavirus thing, and
We cancelled. We postponed the event so that we could film this.
yeah, so we postponed the event, so we got time. So I moved the filming up, and so everybody's like really panicking because I moved the program earlier. There's my team here, but they're doing a great job so far. So we actually do the online, so everyone is safe learning from home instead of needing to turn up in this month for a live event. Kev Wong saying, can we use Parzi to cure our existing illness? Well, Parzi, if you can align this with TCM, it can give you insights. Remember consciousness? You're conscious of where the energy blocks are. It can help. Cure or not depends on the medical doctor, okay? But it can give insights to the medical practitioner to enable you to find a faster cure, of course. Sharon Holland is saying, I'm Quay Water with 90% earning officer. What kind of business suits me most? We'll talk about that later, okay? We'll talk about that personality profiling in part of what I'm going to film today, okay? Kumar is saying, how do I follow the Western birthday or lunar birth calendar when I keep key in the Parzi? Just key in the Western date of birth. my super intellectual software called the Path Explorer Beta 2.0 right now will convert your Western into the Chinese calendar and plot the chart. Okay, so please don't plot in the lunar dates and all that nonsense. Yeah, just key in whatever date of birth that you use to celebrate your birthday. Okay, Peggy saying, I see in my chart has no 5. What does it mean? I don't care what it means. It doesn't mean anything, all right? When you look at your chart, don't look for what's missing. Look for what you can do. Look for what your options are. A lot of people look for where can go wrong. Like as if I don't have fire, my life will be, shit. It's not, all right? There's a lot of missing things in life, but you won't know it's missing if you just focus on what the things that you have. And I want to show you that through this next 4 days, that if you focus on strengths instead of weakness, you will have an enjoyable and fulfilling life. If you focus on what you don't have and try to make the missing become unmissing, you're going to have at most normal life, and that's not what you want. You want an extraordinary life, all right? Lisa Bram is saying, I was a student at Thrive, loved it. It was my first ever class in Chinese metaphysics. It seems a whole new level. Yes, it is. Is the final product going to be advanced students only? No, the final product, it's going to be what you see with probably a few more topics. I don't know yet. We're trying to do as many as possible. We're filming based on you guys. So if you are giving the feedback here, we'll film the program and we're going to add more to it because the post-production it takes a few months to do. Okay, it's not something we do overnight. That will be suitable for even if you're a beginner and all the way to an advanced student. So really, it's going to be a great product when it's launched. I hope you support us then and get a copy of that. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna take a short break, but you guys gonna watch a video called Fate versus Destiny. Okay, this is a video that I shot explaining for beginners or those who are into metaphysics what's the difference between fate and destiny. And when I come back after this, I'm going to ask you questions based on the topic and based on the video that you watch. And if you can answer correctly, you are going to get some prizes, okay? So if you want to win something, you got to watch it and answer the questions correctly. Okay, ready guys? Play the video now. What if there's a system that could map out the course of your life? One that will allow you to navigate all the treacherous territories, accelerate your growth, and maximize opportunities. One that allows you to understand what affects your health, find and create more meaningful relationships, and make your business more profitable. A system that allows us to understand the past so that we know that life happens for us instead of to us. With that tool, we can navigate our future, find our life purpose, and create the passion that we need to drive our lives forward. A system that allows you to design your own life and master your destiny. Hi, I'm Jovi Yap, creator of the Bazi Academy program and the founder of the Mastery Academy of Chinese Metaphysics. I'm the author of the Destiny Code and I've published 182 books on subjects like Chinese astrology, feng shui, and Chimendunjia. For over 2 decades, I've been teaching students from all over the world about life transformation using Chinese metaphysics. Since the year 2000, I've been working with top CEOs, iconic business leaders, and Fortune 500 companies. Each year, I speak to more than 80,000 people at my live seminars and events in major cities around the world. Welcome to my new program, Design Your Destiny 2.0. I want to invite you on a journey into you. The human behavioral system, personality tests, psychometrics have long fascinated mankind for thousands of centuries. Questions like who we are, why we do the things we do, and how our actions lead to a certain type of destiny. And then we'll ask the big question, are our destinies written in the stars? In fact, an article on Forbes inspired me back in 2012. And it says investments are a bet on the future. The question is, can our future be foretold with the alignment of the stars? JP Morgan once said that millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do. So hear me now, believe me later. Come with me on a journey. Alright, let's begin our journey by first addressing the most important big idea, fate versus destiny. There are two groups of people. The first group are those who believe in fate. those that believe from the moment of their birth, everything is already pre-written by the universe. Now, the second group of people believe that they chart the course of their lives. They are in control of their destinies. Now, is there a difference between fate and destiny? Huge difference. Now, from the perspective of Chinese metaphysics, your destiny code is made up of both fate and destiny. Let me explain. Fate is what is given to you without much of your choice involved. For example, the family that you're born into, the circumstances and the environment that you grew up in, or the people that you meet. These are all fate. However, what do you do with all these that are presented to you, the opportunities, the people you meet, the choices that you make, that is your destiny. For instance, meeting the man of your dreams, for example, that meeting is fate. What you do after that meeting, that is your destiny. Destiny is created as a result of meeting those options that are turned into choices. There's a huge difference between options and choices. Options are opportunities, things that come into your life. When options are actionable, they become choices. Therefore, our destiny is a result of the choices that we make as a result of all these opportunities that presented itself along the way. Now, I do understand that some of us may be dealt with a hand that is not so fortunate. For example, some people may have some health issues at the time of their birth, or some people would have some disadvantages, or a traumatic past, for instance. All this are a matter of fate. And of course, there could be certain reasons due to the makeup of an astrology chart that have resulted in that. However, just because you're dealt with a bad hand does not equal a destiny that is going to be poor or unhappy. Because whatever that is dealt with is how you play the game. It's how you turn those options into choices, and choices become part of your destiny. And your destiny code is about understanding the options that are presented to you so that become better choices. And when you make better choices, you design the destiny that you want. Now, before we could turn options into choices, we have to understand the two most important days in our lives. The first day is the day that we are born. The second day is the day we know why. Now, the day and time that we were born presents us with the destiny code. Now, your destiny code consists of various parts, but primarily 4 sections. Now, if you follow the plotter that I've created for you, you will see these 4 sections. The first section on the top here talks about your fate and or the chart that you're born with. This is everything that you have. In order to control your fate, first you need to be aware of what are the hidden talents and potentials that you have inside the destiny code. The second section here talks about the journey. This is where you could chart out the course of your life in 10-year blocks. We call this the journey. And if you are in sync with the journey, you are in flow. And the third section here talks about a short period of time where you could meet with opportunities, challenges, or people along the way. And the fourth section here tells you the talents and the skill set that you can acquire and that you can master to actually maximize all the opportunities and the hidden gems that are in your chart. The day you're born, this chart is created. The second most important day in your life is the day you know why you're born. And you can do that by understanding these 4 sections in your destiny code. You will be able to find your life purpose, create meaningful relationships, and find fulfillment in whatever you do. We like
Sound check.
sound check. Is it on?
Mic on already?
Yeah, mic on.
Okay.
Okay, rolling.
All right. Okay, guys. All right. So, how you guys doing so far? You guys still here with me? Okay. So I'm going to ask a few questions while the guys are preparing the slides for me. She's making me look pretty now.
Sure.
Okay. Right. So we're going to give away. Is
No,
this
no,
one?
sorry,
No.
wrong This
Okay,
one.
give me this one first, okay. So we're going to give away book 1 and book 2, the 2 copies of each. Okay, hey, you only do one side, the other side, maybe. Okay.
Over here.
Okay, so, all right, guys. Who wants a copy? Who wants a copy of these books? Who wants a copy? Type a me on the comment section right now. Okay, type a me on the comment section. All right. All right. Yeah, show them the books. Nice. Okay, all right, cool. All right, I'm going to ask a few questions, and if you can answer me, wait, a bit of promo a little bit here first. Guys, please share this training, joeyyap.com/Parzer-training with all your friends who have not joined us. Make sure they join us and keep watching. And if anyone who's new, who's joining me right now, and you guys are in the chat room, please tell them how we actually do this. Teach them that so that my team can save some time, because a lot of them don't know that now I'm talking to you, and then when I get back there, that's the filming part of the entire program. And again, just in case you're new here, I'm filming Design Your Destiny 2.0, which is a product that we will be retailing at the end of the second quarter or the first start of the third quarter for $1,997 US. If you enjoyed this filming behind the scene, you enjoyed the program, the finished product will be far better than this. Of course, please support us and sign up for that course then, okay? All right, so yes, so please go to this URL and subscribe and join or send to all your friends. All right, here's the questions. Can you just bring up the
first prize?
first two, all right, okay. All right, ready, are you ready? Okay, all right, so there's a lot of, it's very fast later on things, and you just make sure I see the right one. Okay, what is 八字? What is 八字? Wait, here's the thing. A, fortune telling. B, entertainment. C, a life transformational tool. Is it A, B, or C? Type your answers in the comment section right now. Holy shit. Okay. All right, guys, you gotta choose one for me. Choose one for me. Okay, and you have chosen Henry Lee. Okay, Henry Lee is gonna get a copy of the Destiny Code. This book retails at $33 US on Amazon right now. Okay, so you're gonna get a new copy here. I'll sign it. I'll send it to you. My team is gonna contact you right now. Okay, are you ready for a second question? Also for a copy of the Destiny Code. Are you guys ready? All right, here's the question. Ready? All right, wait for it. The question is, which one of these is your destiny? Okay, family, country of birth. A is family, B is country of birth, or C, career choices. Is it A, B, or C? All right, type your answer. I'm sure you know the answer. All right. Okay, and of course, the answer is C, your career choices. That is correct. And the person who's winning is Chris Kellogg. All right, Chris Kellogg wins a Destiny Code. My team's going to contact you right now to get a copy. We'll send you a copy. You tell them the address. Okay, all right, you ready for the Destiny Code review? This is the follow-up to the first book, of course. Okay, and this is really interesting. It tells you the clash and combos and all this stuff that you need to know about 八字. Okay, are you ready? When is the best time to learn 八字? A, when I'm ready. B, when I'm in trouble. Or C, now. Which is the correct answer? Is it A, B, or C? Type in an answer in the comment section right now. All right, let's see. Okay, what's the answer?
Hang on, guys. Who you got?
Oh, so many.
Too many.
Who's that?
Catherine Sue.
Catherine Sue. All right, Catherine Sue gets a copy of the Destiny Code reveal. All right, the fourth question for this session. The fourth question. Listen, I have many prizes tonight, but this is a fourth giveaway. Ready? Okay, the question is, what determines my destiny? A, my spouse. B, my government. Or C, better optics and better decisions. Is it A, B, or C? Type your choices in the comment section right now. Let's see. Okay. So fast? Okay. Patrick Tong. Okay, all right. See, you gotta type in fast, right? So Patrick Tong gets a copy of the Destiny Code reveal. Please arrange my team, send it to them. Okay, cool, guys. So that was the topic here. Now we're going to film our next topic here. The next topic is called, what's the next topic we're going to film? Where are we now? Okay, yeah, discover the real you. Okay, so we're going to talk about the next topic, which is primarily into understanding who you are, and your life purpose and your roles that you can play and why you behave the way you behave. It's all about personality, which is really important. In my Design Your Destiny, that's the first step of knowing your capacity. Okay, so I'm going to start filming that. And of course, when you have questions, my instructors, they're all here right now in this chat room right now. So you key in your questions. And of course, if you are guest 1, 2, 3, it's going to be really hard to answer you. Please use your real name. And the link that we pinned to the comments thingy on the top here will send you to the right links that we going to the training room or downloading notes if you have some for you guys. So be ready for it, okay? Guys, you ready? Where's my coffee? I'll take this away first. Can I have some coffee, please? All right. Okay, it's that time of the night where you need to stay energized. Okay, you guys ready?
Sound check, guys.
Sound check.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Rolling.
Ready, yeah? All right. I forgot how to start. Okay. All right, ready? Hey guys, I'm Joey Yap. And let me take you deeper into parts of today, and we are going to talk about the destiny code, starting with who am I? Now, of course, we all know who are yourselves or who are ourselves, but really, what are our innate characteristics, our personality? You know, this is very important if we understand who we are, what sort of nature we have. We become more aware, more conscious of certain behavior or certain unconscious habits that we have. And when we are able to do that, we are able to better steer our life and control our lives to make better decisions. The problem is when we react to issues that are happening in our lives. Okay, we want to be able to respond to issues and not react to them. This brings me to a very interesting story that I heard recently. So there was in a restaurant, and there was this table of couples sitting down and they were having their meals, and all of a sudden, one of the ladies screamed really loudly because there was a cockroach that flew and landed on her right breast, okay? I made that apart, okay, but landed somewhere on her body, and she screamed and really got crazy, and then she did this, and she flicked, and then the cockroach landed on another lady's left breast, and suddenly she also screamed, and everyone started screaming and acting really crazy, and there was chaos in the entire restaurant until this waiter walked up. Oh, he saw what's happening, reached out, grabbed the cockroach, and eliminated the cockroach in a very calm and, what do you call that? What's a better word for it, guys? Composed, all right. Okay, edit that one, okay. The waiter appeared and grabbed the cockroach and calmly disposed it, okay? So really, this thing tells us this, right? What happens is, when we start to react to situations, the cockroach is an unknown, right? We fear the unknown. We've never seen this before. So that two ladies basically didn't know what to do. They just reacted to the situation, and their reaction out of fear is causing other people to start screaming at the same time. And so the other lady reacted to her scream, and obviously to the cockroach, which is the unknown to them. And so she didn't know what to do, and everyone panicked. And then the waiter, who has seen this before, understood that situation, obviously, and responded to the situation by eliminating the cockroach, calmly. And that, of course, solved the problem. Now, I think a lot of times we react in our lives to situations, and that caused a lot of trauma and problems, not just for ourselves, but for other people. We cause a lot of panic because the unknown makes us fear. But what if we know ourselves? What if we understand who we are? What if we understand our nature? Just like how the waiter understands that situation, we can then respond to it and respond to other situations. We become better human beings. And then we are able to drive our lives the direction that we want to head to in an easier way because we're responding to things. So that's what we want to achieve in this particular module here. Now, before we begin, understanding the destiny code, you must first understand that your destiny is like a game, and as a game, you are one of the players, but the playing style, right? The style of playing, there are basically 4 levels or 4 categories that you can choose to be when playing this game, okay? So this is so important. Would you be the spectator, okay? This is basically player D, and when that cockroach landed on that lady's body, you are one of those on the other table. Oh yeah, she probably deserves it. It's bad karma for her, Or you're basically a spectator of what is happening. Or you also start to react because other body is reacting. Or you just go with the crowd or herd mentality, okay? Now, sometimes spectators are D players is when, I'm sure in your life, you have met people in your life that after talking to them, you feel so drained and so tired. Because these people just go on and on and on about their problems, and they just don't want to hear your solutions. No matter how many times they ask you for advice, they never listen to your advice in the first place. They are known as ask-holes in their lives, okay? I'm sure you've met people like this. So, and they struggle all the time. They're anal, they analyze everything, they ask all the experts for their advice, and they never take action, okay? And then they complain. They complain, they hate and they deny what is actually happening. Okay, so there are people like that, and they are called the spectators or D players. And then there are C players, okay? C players are basically people who have a victim mentality. Oh, it's the government's fault, you know, they raised the taxes, they did this, it's a conspiracy out there, and there's not enough for all of us. You know, this job, you know, someone gets a promotion, that means they're taking it away from me. They procrastinate, they delay things, they are risk adverse, they don't like to take risks. Before they start anything, they ask you, are you sure I won't fail? They ask questions like that, right? So they're pessimistic and they whine all the time, right? Now, listen, if we are not aware that we are behaving like this, the lack of awareness makes us play the game in this level, okay? And all of us can be one of these at any point in our lives because of lack of consciousness. When you're not aware, sometimes we procrastinate and we're not aware. Sometimes we speak the language of scarcity when we're not aware of it. Sometimes we are pessimistic or risk adverse when we are not aware of it, okay? So when your awareness level increases, you can move on to a higher level of the game and you play it at a different level. You can be a B player. Now, if a B player is better than a C player, at least it's in a level where they are comfortable, okay? It's in a comfort zone level. They're self-sufficient. They are rather defensive though because they want to protect their territory. They've achieved a certain level in their career. Their family life is reasonably stable. They know that they're not getting far ahead. But at the same time, they are fear of changing because they fear of losing what they already have at this point in time. Excuse me. Never cut that out. And of course, they seek security, so they want to maintain and stay at the same level. And what they need to move ahead is usually they seek motivation. So these are a bunch of people that they normally are the ones that post a lot of motivational quotes on their Instagram and on their Facebook, and then they like other people's motivational quotes, and they start watching motivational videos and all that, but nothing happens. Yeah, a lot of people just keep posting motivational stuff on that. Nothing happens. Why? Because they're lacking one key component. Excuse me. I need some water, guys. Can we just give me some water, please? Yeah, thanks. All right, I'm gonna pause this for a while. All right. Yeah, I'll put it down here, yeah. Okay. So they continue, yeah? So they need more motivation in order to move ahead to the next level. Now, if you're not aware that we are here, then we are not aware that we are B players. What we need to get to is becoming an A player. Now, an A player basically are the ones that are usually optimistic, okay? They are the ones that are far-sighted, they're action-oriented, they are not the ones that post motivational quotes on Instagram. They are the ones actually doing those things that are said inside the motivational quotes without posting them. And you know, those lifestyles that you see on Instagram, these are the people that are living those lifestyles without posting them on Instagram, okay? So they are problem solvers, they are abundance mentality, they don't need motivation. They don't need their boss to motivate them, they don't need their staff to motivate them, they don't need their wife or spouse to motivate them. They seek inspiration and they seek to inspire others. Now you can play the game at the A level. If you play at the A level, you will maximize whatever you have in your chart and you will be the one responding to situations rather than if you play the game at the C level or the D level, the spectator level, then you are just reacting all the time. Now, life sucks at the C and D level, okay? Life always feels that, you know, that you could be the next person more prone to the coronavirus if you just mix with the community and stuff like that. Because these are the people that are hypochondriac or they are just afraid of everything that's happening. Whereas these people, at least they're stable, they're okay, they're not that scared, but they're not moving ahead fast enough though. They're just all right. They are the ones that say, you know what, I just want a peaceful life. I don't really like to be rich. Listen, that's because they know that they can't get to the next level, so they stop, right? So they sort of settle. If you settle, you can be at B, but it's not wrong to settle. Some people are okay with it, but remember, the ones that move and shake society, the ones that can make an impact on the younger generation and the future generation and the future of the entire world are the A players. People who said, you know what, let's push this to the next level. Let's make things different. Let's make things better. Let's save the environment. Let's save the world. Let's change the way they do things. Let's improve things. You want to be an A player. And these are ones that respond to situations and they see opportunities. Now, remember that in your Bazi chart, you can be a certain element, and that element at the weakest level, you'll be at this level. At the stronger and healthier level, you will play at this level. Now, you can choose that it's not destined that you're born to be at this level. Okay, it's not a destiny thing. It's not a fate thing either. You could choose to play the game at either the spectator or the A player level. This might be a bit uncomfortable for some people because of certain experiences that they have before. But if you try to push yourself between B to A all the time, you will get maximum benefits out of Bazi. Now, these are the people, A players don't start out as rich people, but they do become richer and wealthier and happier. Okay, they always tell themselves they don't tell themselves, I cannot afford things. They will think, all right, if I buy it, is it beneficial for me? And how can I afford it? And how can I make a profit out of it? Instead of saying, I can't afford this, can't afford that. That's what a B and C player will say. Okay, can't afford an education, can't afford a new house for my family. You think I print money, stuff like that. Then you're playing the game small. Okay, so that language, if you don't change, no matter what Bazi you do, you're not going to get really, really far. Okay, because luck can't just happen to you. You need to initiate that luck change. Okay, so remember that. Now, let's talk about the starting point of all Bazi analysis, which is the 10 day masters. Right, so day masters, we look at this section of your Bazi chart. The day master obviously is the day that you are born, and you can zoom into this particular element. Now, this is starting point of the reading of a chart. This here is your basic nature. It governs about 50 to sometimes 70% of your inner nature, how you behave. Okay, so we always call a person a water person or yang water person or yin water person, so on and so forth, by this starting point. Okay, now there's neither one that is way better than the other. There's always strengths and there's always weaknesses for each one of this. Okay, so now the full notes, guys, part of this program, it's provided in your notes. For each one, we have a very long and detailed write-up and a short summary as well. It's in your notes that comes with this course. Okay. 1 second. Okay, guys, I know you're looking at my notes, but the notes are actually not ready. We're actually designing it as we speak, okay? So before you start asking the question where you can get it, you can't because we haven't wrote it yet. All right. Continue, yeah? So the notes will give you all the details about each and every characteristics for the new perspective, okay? Now, when I first talked about this, many years ago when I started teaching Bazi, I was explaining the 10 day masters from a very traditional point of view. Well, a lot of this view has changed along the way in the last almost 25 years in this practice. So what you're getting in the notes is the updated version of what the elements or day masters are and how they behave when they exist on different sections in your chart, okay? So if it exists on the day, that sort of tells you your basic nature. If it exists in the month, it sort of describes your work personality. You know, all of us have a work personality, okay? When I go to work, I behave quite differently when on my natural self, okay? My natural self, you see, I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert, but I look like I'm an extrovert because I actually talk on stage and because that's part of my work. So in my month, I have a yang fire, like sunlight yang fire. So actually, I do a stage performance. I talk to people and all that. So it's very yang fire-like. But my nature is yin water. So it's quite opposite from that original nature of from my work perspective. Because my original nature is like the yin water. It's more like the clouds. I like to travel. I like me time a lot. Okay, so it's quite different than my other self. So the day is your inner, peaceful, natural self. The month can explain your work self. and then the year can explain how your other people see you, how your friends perceive you. You know, other people see your reputation, right? Is how other people perceive you, because what you think you are or what you think you am, okay, in your own perspective, it's quite different than how other people like to perceive you, okay? And you can't really control it 100%, because the way they see you is the way they interpret you. The majority of people have an impression of who you are and what you like and what you are like in certain situations, okay? Now, some people can be consistent because inner and outer is the same, okay? And the hour is like the hour stem, oops. And the hour stem is like your inner fantasy world, your inner world, inner behavior, how you are, how you think or you like to be, okay? It's a bit different. So the inner self, right, the inner view of who you are. You know, for example, when I'm talking now, when you're not talking, you hear your voice, correct? But when you actually look at the recording, you actually sound different, right? You sound different than how you hear you inside, right? That's how you see you inside. It's a bit different. So some people are consistent when all the stems are the same, but for a lot of people, it's quite different what they see themselves to be and what they are on the outside, okay? So this is how we see the elements, and of course, there are other elements in the mind palace and the soul palace that will be deeper as we go deeper into the program. We'll tell you that, okay? Now, for Yang Wood, the image that we have is like a tall tree, okay? A tall tree, they're quite steady. If you talk about stubbornness, this is the number one stubborn element. So if you have this in either the day or even on your year pillar, people actually perceive you as being stubborn or hard to change. But really, you're not stubborn. You're just steady, all right? You choose to have the steady and conservative path or the most proven path to wealth. In fact, people who are wealthy, a lot of them are Yang Wood because what they build have strong foundations, okay? Because big trees always talk about foundation. So even in investment styles, these people look for fundamental investments. They go for, you know, those things that are not just based on fear or the trading and all that, because they like things that are more consistent, right? So they're most independent of the lot, right? You can put them anywhere and they will survive, and they're principle-centered in general, okay? So Yang Wood people are the best that become philosophers because their principles last through time. And principles are, they are race blind, color blind, or money blind. They applies to all human race. So these people know how to talk about that sort of philosophy. And basically, the way they get wealthy is that from one core, they branch out to different sources, okay? Now, the full notes for this is actually inside your accompanying notes. I need you to download that and read that yourself as well, because you know what? I'm not going to just read the notes to you. You can do it yourself. And I want to see this when it appears, let's say now on the work column. On the work column, these are normally the pillars. They normally, if they do well and they're A players, they're going to reach to at least a C level in a corporate environment, because it's like a big pillar of their company, okay? Founders of ideas, organizations or companies usually can find Yang Wood somewhere in their career box, okay? Because they are the founding pillar, all right? So that's what it looks like. And if it's in your hour pillar, you might find that these people have a very deep root on one belief or principle, and then they have branches and variations. It's like a tree trying to branch out, but actually have one core root. Some people have religious beliefs because of the Yang Wood that is on the hour stem, and their beliefs form the fundamentals of the entire practice in life, okay? So there's a lot of variations in here, but I just want to give you an idea of how it looks like. Okay, I want to give you an idea of how it looks like, and then there is the Yik Wood. Yik Wood is like the twines that go onto the Yang Wood. Okay, so Yik Wood are flexible people, right? They're flexible people, and they are the ones that know how to play the game of power really, really well. Okay, if they're A players, right? If you're a spectator, obviously it's a weak Yik Wood. They are the ones that fall on the ground, right? If it's a great Yik Wood, now you may say, how do I see if it's a great Yik Wood or a great, good Yang Wood? You don't need to see. You just need to choose how do you play this game. Because you can develop A player lifestyle, or you can just be a C player and be nothing, all right? The chart doesn't make you an A player. Please understand this. I know some fortune tellers, they tell you shit like this, oh, your chart is born to be a winner. No, nobody is born to be a loser or a winner. Nobody is born to be forgetful or stupid either. Your choice. Do you want to be educated or not educated? Do you want to play this game at a higher level or not? right? Because you could be the twines that are on the ground or twines that is on a big tree. So you just need to know that the capacity is there to be better, right? So who are the greatest Yigwood? They are the greatest statesmen or politicians you could see. Bill Clinton is one in Malaysia. We have Dr. M, who is one of the oldest prime ministers in the world, really great statesman and played this game really well, run the country well as well. So that is Yin-Wood nature. Okay, Bill Clinton's Yin-Wood. So what do? Well, they know how to understand how people work. They know how to use the right person and basically they know how to play the right chords at the right time. And they are the ones that are able to make use in a good way of other people's strengths in order for them to go up to the top. Okay, that's wood, and they're flexible, just like wood. But you see, the roots of the wood, they can grow in all directions. You don't know what they're thinking and planning. Okay, so it signifies flexibility in life. And so if you have this in the month pillar, you're looking at someone that works in an environment that's extremely fluid, but they are attached to other businesses. Okay, because just like wood attaching to a bigger wood, so. These days, they are sub-companies or sub-services that attach to a big organization. Like, for example, you have Alibaba is like the big Yang Wood, like the Virgin Empire of Richard Branson is like the Yang Wood. Then there are many sub-satellite businesses. Those are Yin Wood. They attach to it and they make a lot of money along the way. Okay, so you could do that too. Today, you can actually buy off other businesses and or join them as one of the partners in a thriving business. How would people do it and become rich? Okay, so there are many more of these options on the notes. I want you to read through and understand it, and then you will get the full idea. Okay, there will also be an accompanying video that comes with the 10 profiles that comes with your course that tells you in detail of this 10-day masters. Okay. Guys, can you please make sure to include the video, because our group, there's a lot of old videos as well as get our instructor to also film it. Okay? All right, include this as part of this module, yeah? Please write down. Okay. All right, continue. So that's Yin-Wood for you. Now, if Yin-Wood is just in the hidden of your hidden branches, now what is hidden? You know when you have your Bazi, okay, stop. At this point, right, guys, make sure you insert Bazi and show hidden. Okay? Because I just thought of this slide right now. Okay, all right. Continue. So if you have Yin-Wood in your hidden branches, you are looking at someone who has a lot of hidden connections with other people. And if you can have that, activate this power, you will be able to connect with the right people, have secret deals on the side. Listen, I know, it's not good to have secret deals. Listen, there's a lot of secret deals out there that enable a lot of people to become successful, rich, and get what they want in life. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you don't harm anyone, all right? And if you are doing it in the correct way, you know, people always like people that they can work well with. And if you know how to connect that, you get things running. So a lot of people who are not in the know don't know how to do it, so they climb the hard way to become wealthy. But if you are the ones that can connect, especially on a hidden level, you're there already, okay? So that's Yin-Wood. And Yang Fire. Yang Fire is exactly like this. It's like the sunlight. The job is to give out light, right? So it's also seen everywhere, but sometimes they don't get thanked enough. So a lot of times you have Yang Fire in the chart, you feel that you've done so much for so many people, and people just don't thank you enough for your work, right? Until someone notices that without the sun, there's darkness, yeah? So one day people will notice. So don't worry if you're Yang Fire, they will. Bill, okay, what's that? Put the right name in. Okay, cut and put that in, yeah, okay. Steve Jobs is Yang Fire. Steve Jobs, Yang Fire, so what he does impacts the world, just like how the sunlight can impact the world. Okay, so the one who wrote Harry Potter was J.K. Rowling. It's a Yang Fire person, Yang Fire personality. So that itself, what they do actually is the mover and shaker of an industry. Okay, so I'm not born with Yang Fire in my day, but I'm born with Yang Fire in my month step, so in my work. Okay, so in some ways, this is how I am on my work life. Okay, my work life, I am a thought leader in my field, right? I talk about this subject in a different way, and I make this an impact to the entire industry, and I'm shaping the industry. So that's Yang Fire work. But in my true nature is in water, okay? In my true nature is rainwater. I can have my own darkness period and my own sad period and all that. But Yang Fire is always happy on the outside, always vibrant. Right? That's me on the outside, okay? So Yang fire is basically you're supposed to keep giving and giving warmth. So basically what happens is your solutions provider, yeah? So there are many different roles you could play as listed in the notes that you see, okay? And the additional videos that come along with this will tell you all the aspects in different areas. So Yang fire is very lonely, it's the sun. There's only one sun, there's no other sun around. So usually in most of the cases in your work, you feel that no one can think like you or act like you or behave like you. So there's always a small setback for Yang fires to behave like, why nobody can think like me and act like me and see all the details and do the things that I do, and I feel so frustrated. That's the nature of Yang fire by nature, okay? But really, there are of course other people who can do what you can do and do it in a better way as well. It's just that Yang fire doesn't see it, right? So all these pros and cons, it'd be good for you to have a look at it. And Yang fire does represent passion. People that doesn't have Yang fire in the chart may find it a little bit difficult to actually see or discover their passion or develop one, okay? If you have Yang fire in the chart, it's easier. I'm not saying that you would for sure, but it's easier to get there, okay? So that's what Yang fire is about. And then there's Yin fire. Yin fire is really, really interesting. It's like the candle fire. I have Yin fire in my year pillar, and year represents my network, my industry, my friends. So one of the things that I enjoy doing, like the Yin fire does, is I like to light candles. Not physically light candles, but really I like to light the candles in other people's lives. So I do enjoy that, especially my friends. You know, I like to talk about this in stage because I like to inspire other people. But really, even in my private life, when I talk to others, I actually like talking to them and making them see, you know, life a bit differently. It's like lighting up the candles in other people's lives. So if you have Yin fire in your chart, or you are Yin fire itself, you actually find joy in helping other people, either mentally, emotionally, or even spiritually, okay? Or maybe you like to invent things to bring smiles to other people, because Yin fire is it's a spiritual element, not a religious element, by the way. People always think, oh, Yin fire is religious. It's not religious. Spiritual means finding enlightenment. You know, candles symbolize enlightenment. So enlightenment means you're able to become more conscious instead of living in darkness. You are able to light up other people's path. You bring smiles to other people. That's what Yin fire is. So I have this in the year, so that's what I enjoy doing on the outside, and people see me that way as well. That's my year column. Now, if you have this in your day, then your personality might be the ones that bring joy to other people, okay? And you're a bit more romantic. Now, my Yin fire is not in my day, so I am not a romantic person by nature, but people think I am. That's a good thing, but I'm not, because I'm actually Yin water, which is one of the least most romantic person around, okay? So I can eat in the same restaurant over and over again, as long as it's got a certain food that I like, okay? So Yin fire is a little bit different, right? Yin fire likes to brighten up the place, right? Make it dazzle. So a lot of scientists to discover things are Yin fire as well, okay? So read more about this on the notes that are provided and watch the accompanying videos on this, okay? So there's Yang Earth. Now Yang Earth, it's like the rocks. They're steady, they're protective, they actually define how things work. This is what is good about Yang Earth. Yang Earth is about boundaries and identity. Now, you'll be very interesting about this. Human beings are generally intelligent. Well, hope to God people are, yeah? Now, intelligence is what makes, you know, human beings way above other animals and other creatures alive. But intelligence is also what makes us unhappy sometimes, okay? Because we think too much and we analyze things too much, and until a point where we cannot get answers and we can't find solutions, and then we feel frustrated. So Earth generally is intelligent and resourceful, but extreme Earth in the chart, as in you have too many of these guys around in the chart, makes you feel that you're very restricted by identity. And that's the reason is because Earth is boundaries. So once you identify that, for example, if you're a Man U or a Liverpool supporter, everything Liverpool does is good, okay? Or you're a Laker fan, everything that Lakers do is right. Anything that the Celtics do is not good, right? So because you identify yourself with a group, it's just like Malaysians always think that their nasi lemak is the best in the world and better than Singapore. And Singapore will say, no, 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 we have the best nasi lemak better than Malaysia, right? So anyway, it's like even in Malaysia, people in Penang thinks that they have the better char kway teow than people in Kuala Lumpur. Why? It's just the identity, all right? So identity restricts intelligence, remember that. So having Earth is intelligent, but too much of this, as in you could really see that your chart has many of these guys around, generally you find it that the person becomes a bit more restrictive and sometimes they procrastinate. That's the issue with Earth. Drink water. Wow. 1 second. Make sure everyone in the comment section is okay, all right? Make sure you answer the question. Keep chatting. I know you guys are asking a lot of questions. I see that, right? I'll be all right. I'm just going to finish this lesson. Okay, ready? So, but Earth, once you, okay, one time. Cut that, yeah? Once you get into the career, if Earth is on your career, and these are the people that will stay in the same job or same industry for a long time, and they are the most reliable of the lot, okay? So normally if you want someone to stick around for a long time and they're good at what they do, these are the most lasting and reliable elements that you could see, okay? So more of this in your notes, please read this up. And Yin Earth is the soil, and they are the ones that create life itself. So most of the Yin Earth elements are creative people. Okay, they come up with all sorts of things, and they can produce. You surprise people by all sorts of creativity that you could produce. Even out of dire situations, you can find solutions, and that's how Yin Earth people are like. They're flexible. Okay, they are. You're not changing the notes here. Okay. Oh no. Okay, one more time. They are one of those that has the most resources. Okay, now you may say, but I'm not resourceful. I'm Yin Earth. I don't have resources. That's because you're not being resourceful. If you have Yin Earth in the chart, generally you have access to resources. If you have Yin Earth in the year, your friends are your resources. If you have Yin Earth in the month, your work can provide you with resources. If you have it in the hour of birth, generally what you think, your ideas, even your dreams can be resources for you or inspiration for you to actually develop your empire, your career, your business, and so forth. Okay, if you're Yin Earth person by nature, generally you have a lot of ideas. In fact, sometimes too many ideas. The problem with Yin Earth is the nature of stability, because as you can see, they are soft and flexible. To get them to actually take action, it takes a lot of heating up, to heat up the Earth a little bit, to actually solidify. Okay, so until the point where they're comfortable, normally execution is their weakness. So to become a player, they need to learn to master the art of execution. Okay, again, all of notes are in your notes. Please read them. Yang metal. Wow, this is one of the toughest of the 10 stems. The Yang metal nature, it's like the axe, raw iron, right? They can take hardship. Now, some people say, if I have Yang metal in the chart, is it that I live a difficult life? I don't think you live a difficult life, but you need to live a challenging one to bring out the best in you. That's the issue with Yang metal. So challenging means if you don't put yourself in, sometimes in sports, for example, or in an environment where there is fast pace, the Yang metal becomes cold and becomes rusty. So never stop working if you're Yang metal. Never take a break when you're Yang metal. Once you stop, you can't start, and you rust, all right? So keep going. Now, the little bit of a setback back in old days, they don't like females to be born on a Yang metal day, because they say in the old books, females born on Yang metal day are equivalent to a woman born with a man's chart. What it really means is you gotta do a man's job. But then again, in today's society, if a woman can do a man's job, it's well respected, okay? So generally, you're a tough person. You are someone that can take challenges and move forward. The more pressure you get, the better you actually perform. The only issue is there's a lot of challenges and pain that you have to go through to become a great weapon. So if it's in your month, the choice of work is usually tough that you choose. If it's in your network column, your year column, generally you are in an industry that has very strong competition, sometimes cutthroat. Sometimes, it puts you in a difficult position, and it's even tough or maybe even a bit dangerous and life challenging. Okay, like for example, astronauts or they do extreme sports. Generally, yang metal is there somewhere. Okay, if it's in the hour pillar of birth, you probably be thinking too much. You are tough on yourself. You ask yourself too many questions that push you backwards. That's the issue with yang metal. You don't give yourself enough worth, but you need to tell yourself you're okay, that you can do this and you got this. Okay, that's yang metal nature. So now read up more about this in the notes that are provided. And of course, yin metal, the beautiful jewelry. These are the ones that are glamorous. They talk. They are the ones that are sometimes we call them schemers. We don't really like the word, but they are the ones that like to shine. They like to be glamorous. They are the kings of queens of the fashion world, or the ones that shape the thinking and the direction of a certain industry. For example, they become talk show hosts, or they become they like comedy, for example. Okay. So they're beautiful, right? Now, they may not be physically beautiful, although most of them are, but their thoughts, their thinking is either beautiful or their contribution is beautiful, okay? So a lot of artists have this, the luxury life, the brand life, the glamorous life. People who these days like to shine a lot on Instagram, they like to become, what they call that, KOLs or influencers, all the sin metal type of world, all right? But they can't take too much pressure. That's the problem. They say they can't take pressure. They just change their minds too fast whenever there is challenges and problems, because they melt at the presence of fire. So to get yin metal to surpass the stage of fire, to become jewelry, to be A players, takes a lot of perseverance, encouragement, and inspiration. Most of the time, they can't get through the first stage, and therefore they can't do well. Okay, but sin metal, they make great strategic thinkers. Okay, read more about it in the notes. And yang waters, the ocean water. These are one of the most powerful sources of energy. Okay, yang water is also the 75% of the entire world. Therefore, you will see the richest people usually are either yang water. Jeff Bezos, for example, you see the yang water in his chart. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, all those guys, right? Because 75% of them, the earth is yang water. So if you have this as an A player, generally they are the ones that are the major financial force, okay? You see Jack Ma and all that, they have this somewhere in their chart. So is it better in a year, month? It's not about being better, it's about whether you're an A player or not, okay? Most entrepreneurial of the lot is yang water, okay? The most adventurous of the lot, the most the adaptive of the lot is the yang water, okay? So these are the yang water nature. They are like the ocean, okay? Once they want to do something, nothing can stop them from doing something. They are determined. They are the action-oriented. Whereas they have yin water, yin water, we are the more mystical, just like the mist, okay? We look like a mystic, but actually we are not. But we change our minds fast, just like the clouds. Today we are like this, tomorrow we might think about something else. We think quick, we act quick, and sometimes we get angry fast, and we also forget very quickly, okay? So the most intuitive of the lot is yin water. They are mostly unpredictable, even to themselves, and they're also imaginative, okay? So the bad thing about yin water is this, okay? Consistency, because the form changes all the time. So in one way is innovative, in a bad way is consistency. So for others, especially for spouse, to understand a yin water spouse, right? For your spouse to understand you, will take some time or getting used to, because today you're here and tomorrow you'll disappear, and sometimes they can't see 5 feet away from you, right? Because of the clouds, okay? So, but in some ways, their imagination is also represented by yin water. So the most imaginative, the cartoonists, the animators, the greatest storytellers in the world are yin water, okay, in their chart, okay? So it depends on where yin water is. If in your month, then your job involves storytelling, all right? Storytelling today can mean marketing, can be in education, can be religious works, and so forth. It can also mean healing because this energy represents the essence of the earth, because earth, if you study parts a bit further, you know, yang earth and yin water combines to create fire, which is basically enlightenment and cure. So this nature here represents medicine, okay? So a lot of yin water as well as yin wood, these two elements make good doctors, okay? So that's how nature of Bazi works. So read up more about this in your notes that are provided to you and watch the accompanying video training. Now,